digestion, but it's also very calming and stabilizing and energizing. So it has a unique nourishment and satisfaction more than almost any other naturally fermented food. I mean, now, like sauerkraut and kimchi are very popular, and, you know, all kinds of natural pickles, but miso is really unique, as far as probiotics.
And now on miso, again, I read about you enjoy barley miso. There are a number of different types of miso. And do you have a preference that you kind of, when you counsel students, do you have a preference in order that you like, what you like to recommend?
Well, we recommend barley miso and brown rice miso as the two main ones. But then we also use like sweet white miso for certain things when you need more of a sweet taste.
And on the use of the miso, do you like it in soups? Do you also like it in salad? How should we use the miso?
The best way to use miso is in soup. That's the most absorbable way. But it can also be used in sauces and seasoning other dishes as well.
And when we're using miso, are we supposed to use, say, a good amount would be a teaspoon? Is that it in a meal?
Well, we recommend a half to 1 teaspoon per serving of soup. So it's rather mild, but it's enough to give the soup a good flavor.
All righty. And again, what's the benefit of miso?
Well, it strengthens digestion, and it helps the body naturally detoxify, and it makes you feel strong and calm at the same time. Like, if I go to the mall, it just kind of messes me up. If I come home and have a bowl of miso soup, I feel good again. I just feel calm and stabilized whenever I have it. That
sounds very good. Our guest is Denny Waxman, who, along with his wife Susan, has a new book out called The Ultimate Guide to Eating for Longevity. And Denny, what about something that I happen to really enjoy? How about using tempeh? Are you still happy with tempeh as an item?
Yeah, all of the traditional soy products are highly beneficial. It's funny, soy is getting a bad rap, but it doesn't really apply to miso, shoyu, which is natural soy sauce, tofu, and tempeh. So we use tofu and tempeh both as regular parts of our diet.
That sounds very good. And I do have a question for you about salt, as salt seems to be somewhat controversial. And I know that you like to recommend salt, and everyone has their own tolerance for salt, but what do you suggest? How much salt should we use and how frequently? Sea salt.
We use salt only in cooking, and we recommend that whenever you use it, that there's no salty taste, that the salt just brings out the natural flavor of the food itself. So it's completely blended. And as I mentioned, macrobiotics is traditionally based, so the pattern in all these, traditional civilizations was the use of salt. And the same thing is true for oil. So a lot of people now are against the use of salt, added salt and oil in food, but oil also, sesame and olive oil, have a 6,000-year history, again, in all the civilizations that have great health and longevity.
Yes, I certainly agree with that. And again, on the use of salt, so you kind of recommend what, a quarter of a teaspoon once in a while? I mean, can you give us any kind of number?
I'm really not good at quantities. The guideline is so you can't taste the salt. So it blends with the food, and it just enhances the natural taste of the food.
Well, that sounds very good. Our guest has been Denny Waxman, who, along with his wife Susan Waxman, wrote a brand new book called The Ultimate Guide to Eating for Longevity, The Macrobiotic Way to Live a Long, Healthy, and Happy Life, just recently published by Pegasus Books, which is distributed by W.W. Norton and Company. Really worth reading. I think you'd be impressed with the book. And the foreword is by T. Colin Campbell, a well-known researcher whose ideas have been very influential. Again, the book is The Ultimate Guide to Eating for Longevity. This is Josh Lane. You're listening to Here's to Your Health. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back after these important messages. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Here's to Your Health with Joshua Lane. If you have any questions about the guests or topics discussed tonight, please give us a call at 818-707-0005. That number is 818-707-0005. This is Josh Lane. On behalf of the cast and crew, I would like to wish you a healthy and